Thank you so much. I am very happy to be here today for many reasons. First reason is to say thank you, really thank you for many reasons, but for also a personal reason, because I traveled around Europe discussing, preparing this report, thanks to the Belgian presidency of the European Union, and I always used Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. I always used the three countries that decided to join us in the single market without being part of the European Union. Is the best advertising ever for the single market within our countries, because explaining our people that we have three countries out of the Union that are part of our common exercise is, I think, something that is very important. And it was fantastic in this period also to be able not only to explain that we are all together, but also to try to discuss on some of these issues for the future. I would like to quote what Vice President Vestager just said, looking to the future. We are celebrating, yes, but the future is what is for us really interesting. And I'm here also to thank you for the contributions, because we had meetings with your prime ministers. And I have to say that tomorrow I will be in Oslo. I will continue these conversations, and I will be more than happy to come also to Iceland and to Liechtenstein to continue these conversations on the way in which the future of the single market can be the future of the EEA. And there are many reasons why this conversation and these discussions are important. I remember when we met with the prime ministers here in Brussels, the discussion we had on the present situation, on the future, was a very interesting one, because we started thinking what was 94. And 94 was a period in which, of course, we had, once again, we were happy because Delors was there pushing this idea and launching this idea. It was another, maybe one of the last ideas of Jacques Delors. And at the same time, the main point was the way in which we started working together. And I think we all know that the contribution and the common contributions were always very positive. But now we need to be together for the future. For a very simple reason. The single market 30 years ago was completely different from the one that we are experiencing today. It's completely different for many reasons. First reason, of course, is the geopolitical one. When Jacques Delors started thinking the single market in '85, Soviet Union was there, Germany wasn't reunificated, China and India together were 4% of the world GDP. I think the main changes today, with also the big threat coming from Russia, the rule of law role, and the future of the European values, as you correctly said at the very beginning, presenting this event. And our common values are today and need today to have not only an implementation, but I think a sort of renewal. And the renewal for the new missions we are having. And for the new missions, I think we have to take into consideration what we missed in the last 30 years. Because we missed something, if I may say. First of all, we missed the fifth freedom. We discussed about the four freedoms, but I always remember that Jacques Delors, at the end of his mandate, gave a speech to the European Parliament saying that it would be necessary to add a fifth freedom. Four are not enough, because the four are too much 20th century oriented. We are in the 21st century, and the intangible in the economy is the most important part. And at the end of the day, the four freedoms, goods, services, capitals, and persons, are not very much speaking on the intangible. And the idea to have this fifth freedom that I wanted to, taking inspiration from Jacques Delors, to put in the report as maybe the flagship of the next Commission. And I would like to say that when I presented to the leaders of the European Council this idea, they immediately decided to buy this idea as one of the flagships for the future. And I am strongly convinced that in the next 5 years, in the next Commission, the need to have a Vice President for the fifth freedom, with this horizontal and very deep engagement on what is innovation, knowledge. And I'm sure that your contribution to that and the work that we can have together will be absolutely decisive. And the second main point is about what we missed in the last 30 years because of the incomplete single market on some of the main issues. We discussed on this point with your prime ministers, and the problem of the three main leftovers of the single market of Jacques Delors: telecom, energy, and financial services. Because at the very beginning, when they launched the single market, member states told Delors, yes, but energy, telecom, and financial services is our business, is not your business. And maybe it was comprehensible to say that 30, 35 years ago, because the dimensions of the world were so different from today, and the dimension of the biggest European countries was enough to be competitive with a national dimension and not the European one. But today, without a European dimension, how is it possible to be competitive on telecom? How is it possible to be competitive on financial services? And this topic on the financial services, and I would like to be very short on that, is maybe the most important challenge for all together, the 30s. It's the most important challenge because we are all faced to the main, I think, question for the next years, and the main question is how to be able to finance the transition, the triple transition, the green, digital, and just transition. That is the most important choice that we had, and the most important responsibility that we have today. But to be very honest, we are not fulfilling our responsibility without saying clearly how to finance it, how to be able to say very clearly that we had 5 years of big regulatory approaches, but now we have to be very good in accompanying, in lending, and in financing everything to be able that people can perceive that their life is transformed for the better, thanks to all these initiatives. But it is absolutely necessary to have it with the right way to finance it. And if we are not able to have together private money and public money together, not one against the other, together, in an agreement among the member states and among the 30, because your role for this fundamental mission is absolutely decisive. Also for your expertise, the characteristics, geographical characteristics of the way in which you are addressing these issues. So I would like just to say that the future of our common single market depends on the way in which altogether we will work. And I have to say that the possibility in the next months to have discussions and to try to land on all these missions with a great plan for the future. I think we have altogether a great mission. And the great mission, I remember discussing with my good friend, Vice President Šefčovič, on that. The main mission today is that after 5 years in which we were obliged to react to crisis, one after the other, and we were always reacting in a good way, in a successful way, but always reacting. Now I think we have to take as big mission for all of us, it's time not to react, it's time to act. Because if we are not able to act with long-term ideas, plans, as Delors and the leaders of the countries of EFTA at that time, they acted with long-term views, and that was a success. So I think it is time for all of us to have the same approach, long-term approach, to know that the world around us is a world full of complexities and full of challenges. We have to work together, and working together, putting on the same table all the different expertise, all the different competences and the ideas we have. We are a great family, and this great family today is looking to the future. And I think this event today is an important event with all people gathering here, because we are looking to the future, and the future is a positive future. It's a future in which I'm sure that Europe will find a way in the next 5 years to find all the good solutions for the problems that we are having. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.